We did our presentation on solid biofuels, the most underappreciated biofuel category. And in our group was Caleb, Aubrey, and Nicole. So, biofuels are technically the energy of biomass. Basically, burning these natural elements creates the same effect as a non renewable resource like oil or petroleum. However, this needs to be more widely known and appreciated. People have wide access to these all across the world, however, they're not used. So, just like any renewable resource, solid biofuels are in an unlimited supply and can regenerate at or even before the time it takes to use them. The best examples of these two would be wood and manure. The real key, however, is time. And renewable energy doesn't take much of it. So, examples like solar, wind, geothermal, and hydro energy are generated continuously. And there's no decay of the source. Biofuels have many advantages. However, the best one is probably their wide availability. Everywhere on Earth has access to wood and animal manure. Even in some cases, human manure can work too. There's also minimal technology needed in this process. This is literally a grow it and burn it. Sometimes it takes more things, but like it says, minimal technology is needed. So countries with less money still have access to this. It's cool because it utilizes waste. It's something that was going to be thrown away, was never going to be used again, and it makes it something useful. It's also potentially renewable. However, every great innovation has its drawbacks, and with most typical things comes deforestation. So, when we need to grow these plants to make these biofuels or graze these animals, then that's deforestation. When you need wood to burn for fuel, you're going to cut down a forest to get it. There's also erosion. When you switch out the plants, when you have a dry season, this allows the soil to be subject to the wind, to the rain, and it erodes. It's not the same soil that it was before. And also air pollution, both indoor and outdoor. Sometimes in these processes, there are certain chemicals that can be released inside of factories or indoor parts, and also the typical air pollution of carbon or things of the like. Consider, though, how cool it is that waste can become something useful and productive. You're literally going from poo to power, and that's pretty cool. To think you have dried animal manure, and that becomes a fuel. And that wood can be burned as a fuel just the same as oil or petroleum, which are non renewable and are going away soon. A Peruvian professor found a way to fuel a city just on guinea pig poop. This is a real story. There are nearly 1,000 guinea pigs who make 3 tons of waste every month. And this isn't hamsters on a wheel making electricity. This is guinea pigs being fed an awesome diet, and then their poop is just collected. The poo is turned into organic compost, which is then burned for fuel. It's a really awesome process that makes fuel for an entire city. So, where in the world is this going on? My favorite example was the Uganda example. They passed legislation which requires the mixing of biofuel with fossil fuel. Maybe we can cut it. Basically, what happened is they found an oil reserve in Uganda. And they began to grow a plant called jatrophy, which has non-edible seeds and is grown simply for burning. When you mix the two together, it makes you use less oil. But because many people are greedy, this isn't exactly the top list of plant choices for farmers. Australia also encourages the research and production of biofuels at the University of Sydney. However, Brazil has the world's almost cleanest energy grid, with sugarcane as their top renewable resource, only precedented by oil and petroleum products. However, you'd notice that America isn't on this list. America's not putting biofuel as one of their things to invest in. Uganda calls it the global quest for clean energy. However, when you think of global, you'd think America would be on top. Maybe it's just American greed that puts us behind. So, just as a recap, the most common solid biofuels are wood and manure. They are more common in less developed nations, like I said before, mostly because it's easier to waste on fossil fuels in developed nations who have a lot of money. They provide renewable and natural ways to fuel without excessive carbon emissions. They're the future. In order to have a cleaner future where we don't run out of everything that we run on, we're going to have to invest in clean energy, and solid biofuels allow that to happen.
It's basically like 10 seconds that was the bill still.
Dude, I hope we can cut it out.